Hey, I'm McVie Brick, and welcome to another edition of the Sellers Stream. This is another one of the interview series. The people who have or are in the process of making Lego not only their hobby but also their life, their way that they put money on the table, the way that they employ themselves or are employed. So, with me as always, my man Fubrix. How you doing?
How's it going, guys?
Boo.
And with me is Brainy Bricks. And you might say to yourself, well, Brainy's not trying to sell Lego. He's a Facebook, YouTube, Twitch personality, doing a lot of stuff with his daughter, Cutie Bricks, and he's the world record foot guy. And what you don't know is that he's got a whole other side of this, that he's into the whole do-goodery, which I find excellent. And he's trying to replicate what Fairy Bricks is doing in the UK over here in the US. And we're going to get into all of that. We're going to talk about that, but that's just like, so he's not going to suddenly out of nowhere become a seller, so you don't have to dislike him already. He's going to be the do-goodery, so welcome.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, guys. I really do appreciate it, and I'm very excited for this, man. I've been looking forward to this all week.
Good. So let's just get it out of the way. Let's cover the world record. Okay.
So
go ahead, do the whole thing. You can talk about the first, the drama behind the second, everything.
Yeah, man. So it all started, like Big B said, with Fairy Bricks. Back in November of last year, they had 2,000 Lego sets stolen from one of their delivery vans. And for those of you who don't know, they actually deliver Lego sets to hospitalized children, which has so many benefits, and I'll go over that later. But they had all those Lego sets stolen right before Christmas time. So Cutie Bricks, my daughter, really was kind of shocked and offended by this, and she said, "Daddy, how can we help?" So with the help of the Brainy Brick Nation, all of our followers, we kind of devised setting a world record. And what better world record, and I have no clue how we even came up with this, but what better world record than walking on Lego barefoot? So we put out for that, and we reached out to a bunch of different people, to include Lego, and we went ahead and set that world record in January 21st of this year, 2018. We went to my daughter's school. They let us use a hallway that they had, and we went from one end of the hallway to the other. So we went 120 feet to set that world record. A few weeks later, literally, Dude Perfect, the internet sensations, they ended up breaking that world record by, I think, 26 feet or 27 feet. And they did it to add another world record to their wall. I think they are sitting at like 51 world records. It was like 46 at the time. So they're like world record veterans. And then they ended up being beat out by Lego. Lego went in and yeah, if you've never seen Dude Perfect, I don't know where you're from, but that's exactly the reactions that they get. And I will say that a lot of the stuff they do is pretty cool and pretty insane, but it rubbed me the wrong way in the beginning, and then I realized that they're just doing their thing. And
I was there with you, man. We were throwing. You and I were throwing or trying, not necessarily shade, but definitely knowledge.
Yeah. It I think a lot of people in the AFOL community were a little upset that not only did they break the world record, but the way they did it, they pretty much carbon copied what we did. They only went a short distance further. They did it just to break another world record. And then luckily, and really I was happy when this happened.
But it was pretty obvious that they did do that. Let's cover that. Okay.
Yeah.
It was very obvious. And that's because you actually you were on the Kimmel show, not on the Kimmel show,
Right.
but you were mentioned during the intro, and
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, Jimmy Fallon did a
Fallon.
monologue.
But
Yeah,
you were a 6 second portion of the intro.
yeah,
Crazy dad walks on Lego on purpose.
yeah. And it made national news. It was on NPR. We were on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. We were internationally through the Daily Mail and through a bunch of places in Australia. So news got out pretty quick. They picked up on it, and I think they have a series that they do called Ridiculous Records, or Absurd Records is what they call it. It's like misspelled and everything, on purpose, I think. But it was an absurd record that they felt they could break, so they did. They never reached out to us to figure out why we were doing it. We weren't doing it for the world record, although that's always a cool thing to have. We were doing it to raise funds and raise awareness for what Fairy Bricks was doing, the good thing that they were doing, and to raise money for a charity. And I reached out to Dude Perfect many times through multiple social media channels and direct contact through their email and their manager, and never got a reply back. But while that was going on, little did I know, Lego actually was planning on taking that record away from Dude Perfect, which I was thrilled about. I really, really was. And they took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
I was at 120, they were at 150, and Lego took it to over 1,000 feet. I think it was like 1,237 feet that they went. And I did a straight track. Dude Perfect did a straight track. Lego just blew it out of the water. They did like this pattern, like a little snake pattern, and then turned around and went back, and then did it again and again and again and again and again and again, which gave everyone in the AFOL community the idea of, hey, you can just kind of do a continuous walk, which was great. And I was still planning on.
Was it now?
What? No, it was. Yeah, we'll get to what you're hinting at, because we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, they Lego really did a great job through their Ridiculous channel, and they actually broke the world record. They had a Guinness World Record. Both Dude Perfect and Lego had Guinness people there. So when we did it originally, we could not afford the $10,000 to have Guinness have an educator come out. So we had this long list of things that we had to follow, and we had to record it. And by the time they officially gave us the record, it had been broken again. But we were officially world record holders at that point, which is this right here. I don't know if you guys can see this. That's the original one. And I was planning on setting something up through the local college here and doing it on the football field and trying to make a big spectacle of it, probably not until next year sometime. And I was like, man, this kind of, it sucked. I had a lot of things planned, and like Big B had hinted at, I ended up wanting to essentially do what Fairy Bricks did. And this was all part of the marketing scheme that we had planned. Then this right here, I don't know if you guys can see this, Brickfest Live. The shirt that I'm wearing is from Brickfest Live. This was the first year I'd ever done it. Big B and all the Bricktubers, everybody who was part of this community was like, hey, we're all going to Philly Brickfest. And you guys talked it up so much, rightfully so, about how awesome of an event this is. And I was like, I have to go. And it just so happened to be on my birthday as well. So it was my first time at Philly Brickfest. It was my birthday. My father, who I hadn't seen in like 6 or 7 months, was like, hey, it's your birthday, I'm gonna come up. So it was like this trifecta of perfection that I was looking forward to for months on end. And I had no plans whatsoever to re-break the record this year. And when I got there, Philly Brickfest, Chad and his group, everybody there had kind of planned to do this kind of communal walk to re-break the record, to take it back for the AFOL community. And when I got there, they found out that it can only be one person. It can't be many people. And all of you guys kind of stepped up and went to Chad and to Philly Brick Fest and said, "Hey, the guy who originally broke it's here. You know, why don't we have him take it back over?" And it meant so much to me for everybody to kind of get behind and say, "Hey, you know, this is something that we would love to have happen." It meant so much more having it happen at Philly Brick Fest and having all of you guys behind me, because I really felt like the community really understood and appreciated what we were going for so much more than the first time. I really did. And I'm getting all teary eyed here. I apologize. But you know, Chad came to me the night before and was like, "Do you want to do this?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he surprised me even more and was like, "We're going to have a Guinness person here to give you the record." And I'm like, "What?" So, you know, I would never be able to afford that. And Foo was even there. I mean, I think I met Foo for the very first time at Philly Brick Fest. And the first time I ever got to meet Big B in person was there as well. And it was just an amazing sight. So Philly Brick Fest had a genius setup. Again, it was a square. And to break the world record, I had to do like 9.5 laps on this square barefoot. The first time that I did,
without dragging or sweeping your feet.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
had steps, not shuffling.
Exactly. And the educator was very particular about that. She said, "Your feet need to leave the brick and step down with purpose." That was the word she gave me, with purpose. And she was watching every single step and making sure I didn't cut corners or step off the path in any way, shape, or form. And we had, you know, everybody was there and they were all helping by, like, you know, leveling out bricks. And Bricksmith was there as well, kind of screaming and hollering behind me. And the community was all just kind of surrounding us. And there were kids all over the place. So I felt like I had more reason to even do this, you know? And when we were going around, every time I take a step, it was so excruciating. It was more excruciating this time because the first time it was all of my brick, all the brick that you see over here, plus brick that Booster Bricks had given us. We had over 300 pounds the first time. That Lego was plates, it was bricks, it was tires, it was the whole gamut. This time it was all 2x4 red brick. And anybody who knows the red brick knows that it is sharp corner, sharp corner, sharp corner, sharp corner on 8 sides of this thing. And every step was just excruciating. So we ended up going 14.25 laps around 2,000. My mind just went like 2,000.
Right there.
700. Right where?
Is it printed right over your shoulder?
No, it isn't, unfortunately. Unfortunately, they didn't have, the record is not written on this. 2,737 feet. So we obliterated Lego's record. And when
Don't talk too loud. They've got that show, Ribriculous. They're young and they're dumb. And
yeah. Look, I said it already. I said, if anybody breaks this world record, you deserve it, because it hurt so bad. It hurt so bad, in fact, that they had to wheel me away from the walk because my feet were cut up so bad that they wrapped them. And still, right now, my feet are still healing. I'm pulling off patches of skin where skin is kind of falling off from being healed underneath. I ended up getting an infection in my left foot. I had to get tetanus shots in both my feet. It was very, very painful.
You bruised the bottoms of both of your feet fairly severely.
Yeah,
and then continued to walk around and entertain and be entertained at Philly the whole weekend with your pop, celebrating your birthday, getting kerkrinkled.
Yeah, that's a great word, kerkrinkled. And yeah, absolutely. I could not have done what I did without Philly Brick Fest, without the environment, without the people, without the community. It's amazing what can happen when good people come together for a good cause. And that's exactly what happened. It was just this, like I said, it was just this trifecta of perfectness. Everything aligned up.
It's always a good few people, or a couple of few people behind the scenes,
Yeah.
letting people know about things. So
Yeah.
it was
And
going to come together. I knew months beforehand it was going to come together. So
yeah, and I appreciate everyone who put into it. And Big B, I know you're one of those people. I know you're not the kind of guy who would say you are, but I it it really it made my year. It has truly made my year. In fact, like I said, NPR reached out to us. We were on Wait, Don't Tell Me, which is a huge show. My local newspaper, just ran another article on us last weekend. And it's opening, the world record alone is opening up a lot of doors for us to do the things that we want to do. But it was no joke. In fact, 2 weeks ago at another BrickCon, they ended up in, I think it was Idaho or Utah. In Utah, he tried to break the world record and he was defeated. He didn't make it all the way. So I know it was one of those kind of bittersweet things. Like I felt bad for him. He ended up getting one of the wheel well pieces, the kind of rounded piece with the 2x4 plate on it, stuck in between two of his toes. And every step, it was just cutting his toes. And he was like, I quit. I can't do it. So
are you not allowed to remove stuff from the in between your toes?
No, man, you can't. Your hand, you can't touch any of the bricks.
Stuff with more purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing I'd be worried about when you were talking the first time when you walked on just the random brick.
Yeah.
I'm of the age. I'm not that old, but I'm of the age where I had the red wheels that had the metal piece in the center of it for an axle. And boy, I stepped on one of those as a kid, and it was one of those whole like.
Yeah. I actually have. I did kind of pre-screen my brick collection. I will say that there were a few pieces like that, and the one piece that I didn't anticipate, and it hurt so bad. It's the one piece that sticks out in my mind from my first attempt. Is the 1x1 like doll Lego Friends piece that holds the sunglasses and things like that. It's like a 1x1 flat plate with a single like stud coming out the top that the little glasses and things can go in.
Oh, you mean the newer pieces? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That piece is a killer.
It's a 1x1 round tile with a pin holder on top.
Yes, that's it. And it was one piece I didn't pull out or think was a problem, and it was. So yeah, it was just it was crazy.
Arches though, man. Those arches, I could see how those arches could be brutal.
Oh yeah, those are some really thin pieces, and a lot of people gave me flack. A lot of people were saying online and on the internet and from the comments on Jimmy Kimmel's thing or Jimmy Fallon's thing, they were all saying, it's like walking on a bed of nails. You put 1,000 down and it's not that bad. But the thing is,
but it's not 1,000. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a level surface. It's a completely uneven surface. It's like walking on a jagged rock beach.
Yeah, and at Philly,
nobody enjoys getting out to the water.
Yeah, and at Philly, our philosophy was, I said, Chad, let's do this nice and thick, so it's like a cushion. And after my first lap, I'm going, Chad, spread these things out, spread them out a little bit for me, because that cushion, what it would end up happening is I'd step, and then my foot would slide into the brick, and those bricks would just kind of tumble across your foot, and it was like, oh my God. It was, I got goosebumps just talking about it. I don't know if you guys can see that. I am rightfully so and proudly known as the barefoot brick guy, not just through the 8-ball community and just random people, but locally here. Hey, you're the guy that walked on Lego, and at work. Every day someone asks
You
me,
get
how's your feet
get a
doing?
free dozen donuts, once every couple months for it from like,
Yeah,
hey,
that'd
you're
be
that
awesome.
guy.
Yeah. So yeah,
You know, have a
it's been
traffic
great.
ticket maybe.
I hope it has
I
that
couldn't
power.
have been going that fast. My feet are still hurt.
Yeah, yeah. So, but again, it was just such a spectacular event. It was everything I could have ever imagined and then some. So very rarely am I speechless. And at Philly, if you're a displayer, there's an awesome night at the end, and they had asking people what their favorite thing was, and when Chad said, and we've got Brainy Bricks who broke the world record. I couldn't say anything. I was that speechless. And I it was a very emotional event. It was really, really cool. So
Unlike the last event you had, which was getting your phone jacked.
yeah, my phone got hacked, and it's fully confirmed by Apple that my phone was hacked. All of the photographs and videos on it were taken. They hacked all my accounts, so I'm having to literally, my phone doesn't work now. If I go to try to do something with my phone at the moment, it essentially resets everything. Like every time the screen goes black and you open it back up, everything's completely reset to what the hacker set it up as. And I think I know what happened. I don't want to go into it. I think I know where it came from, but it's very frustrating when you run a social media page and all of those social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything is ran from your phone. It really put a stop to what I'm used to doing on a day-to-day basis. And also financially, I mean, I'm having to shell out another $600-700 for a new phone now, because I have a phone that just is a big old brick of nothing right now. So, but luckily they didn't do anything with any of my accounts. They didn't post any obscene things. I mean, the photos and videos on it, nothing's I would be on there is anything I'd be ashamed of. It's just
So
private, it's family. So.
this sounds like a ransom.
Um, I don't want to go into all that, but yeah, it definitely was something I never thought would happen to me. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not somebody who would be a target. It still doesn't make sense, but luckily
Neither
I've got a
does
wife.
the internet.
Yeah, neither does the internet. So, but my wife's been really good about it, and it sets us back with the foundation, because the foundation, which we'll talk about more, everything's coming out of my pocket, our family's pocket, and also donations from followers and people who want to help out. And so, all the money that I had saved up is now going to, get a new phone. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's a necessity.
it really has become one.
It is. It is. I mean,
Yeah. Until you don't have it, you're like, you don't realize how often you use it and what you use it for. I mean, simple little things like I went to Chick-fil-A this morning, and usually I do that on my phone. I had never realized how much I use my phone until
we just got 3 thumbs downs because you said the word Chick-fil-A.
Oh man,
It tastes so good though. Just
I
compromise yourself for a few bites.
Yeah, exactly.
How long have you been into Lego, or when did you come back?
So, like everybody, I had a dark period. My dark period is probably extended more than most people, but I think it was about 6 or 7 years ago. I went down. It was right after my wife and I like officially got together, and my mom was cleaning out the attic and was like, "Hey, I got a bunch of your stuff. Come get it." And it was just this giant, like,
we got rid of you.
Yeah.
It was becoming an exercise room.
Yeah. So just this giant tub of Lego, and unfortunately, when I was a kid, and still to this day, I don't keep sets together. I'm the guy who builds a set, keeps it together for a couple weeks, and then it becomes pieces. And it's stuff for me to use and build. And all the cool sets that I had as a kid, I have pieces of. I don't think there's a complete set in my original collection because somewhere along the line a piece was lost here or it was chewed on or something. But
Have you heard of Breckland?
oh, absolutely. And in fact, right now,
don't you just, I'm kidding.
okay. Well, we'll get to that again when we talk about the foundation. But I ended up getting back into it. I went through all my pieces. I sorted them. I actually was going to become a bricklink seller. A lot of people, not going off topic, but a lot of people don't realize how much goes into that. And I was like, man, I can do this. And for like 3 weeks, I was a bricklink seller, and it was so much work. I was like, I don't have time to do this with my day job. And then my daughter came along, and when my daughter came along, I started building little things for her. And even at 1, even at 2, we were playing with regular Lego, and we never ran into the problem where she would put Lego in her mouth or anything. It was just regular size Lego from day one. And then it became part of life again. And I don't do things I don't go half in on things. When I get into something, I'm in. So it was history from there. So
some call that a disorder.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Hyper compulsive.
Not that any other people around you aren't, avid collectors of Lego either. So I mean, it's
absolutely.
It's like the pot calling the kettle, another piece of a kitchen appliance.
Yeah. It doesn't help that the Lego community is so close knit. Like when you get in, it's like the mafia. It's hard to get out, man. It really is.
And it is a reverse AA meeting.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Reverse AA meeting. Every time you talk about, man, I think I might have bought. No, dude, that's totally you did. I got 6 more than you. Like, if you're not, then come on, no, you're totally not. This is totally normal.
Yeah, if you got a problem, then what do I have? Yeah.
So no, dude, you're fine.
Yeah.
It's when you've got 1,200 dimensions polybags just sitting in a couple boxes that you forgot about that it's a problem.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And so it has become a way of life. It really has. It's something that my daughter's gotten into, and my wife has accepted, and is a
good word.
She's supportive, at least. We're lucky to have all of us. I think we're lucky to have people in our lives who do understand, at least.
So why do all of this instead of by yourself? Why do that with your daughter? That's a question I hear a lot, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I do too.
There's a lot of, and I can see this because of like, man, those Kinder channels and like how much we made fun of Evan too. But you weren't around, but we used to just be very critical of Evan Tube's parents.
Yeah.
Especially about the child soldier type of commentary, and stuff like that. So it does have a very negative, and I'm not saying I'm just saying, like, do it. And there's a lot of people that are all about that. So
and I actually feel that way. I'm in that group. I'm part of. I'm one of those parents who say, why would you bring a child into something like this? And from day one, if you look at the progression of my channel, whether you look at where we really started, which was YouTube, for a very short period of time, and then you watch my videos from day one on Facebook, you'll notice that Cutie Bricks isn't there for quite some time. She came in at her own request. She saw that I was doing things with Lego. She already loved Lego, and she wanted to be a part of it. And she has a charisma, a natural charisma that I like to think she got from me. That people just enjoy being around her.
Mom.
So
It's mom.
it may be, but people enjoy being around her. She's kind of the life of wherever she is, and it shows on our channel. And I have never forced her to do a build. I've never forced her to sort Lego. I've never forced anything.
No, no,
It,
she's just
yeah,
taken to it. She's really has taken to
yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, I've seen the same thing on your channel. The interaction that you have with your kids is not one of, hey, this is a job and you need to get this done. It's,
Yeah,
hey,
it's
this
not
is
doing this so we
fun.
can get the views. It's
Yeah,
totally just like, all right, you want to do this really? Okay, you're here now. Okay.
yeah, exactly,
A lot of the time, it's
exactly.
like, oh, okay, you figured out that I was doing. Okay.
Yeah,
This
and
was going to be a 2-minute video.
yeah, now it's a 45-minute video that we're going to talk about giraffes as well. So, um, but it's one of those things also where I wanted her to be a part of it. I did want her to be a part of it, and it's because it's father daughter time. It is time that we have that she doesn't get with mom. Her and mom have a lot of crafts and a lot of other things that they do that I don't get to do with her. So it's one of those bonding experiences. We're always very excited when the new catalog comes out, and we love just building. She has her own Lego Friend City that she has designed. I mean, that's how much this kid is into Lego. So, and she's my world. And honestly, if she told me one day, Daddy, I don't want you doing this anymore, I'd stop, because it
I
is
want
a
this
family
just for
thing.
you, Daddy. I want all of your brick now, Daddy. Please stop playing with it.
So that's a day I'm dreading, because my biggest excuse for buying new Lego sets is, oh, this is cutie bricks. This is hers. So all the Lego you see over here technically is hers. So we're gonna have a heart to heart when it comes time to leave the house, and uh, I'm honestly secretly hoping she has her dark ages before then, so I can hold on to all this brick. But at the same time, I'm sure we'll come to a
Nope,
common
nope.
ground.
Channel's going to be successful. She's a lifer.
Honestly, I'm really hoping, and this is a plug. I'm throwing a plug in. I hope you don't mind. I'm hoping she becomes like Emily's Lego creation. If any of you guys have ever seen her on Facebook or Instagram, I think she's 22, and she just creates these amazing real life things like, um, you know, uh, swords and toasters and skateboards and all kinds of crazy things. And I hope she has that creativity and that passion. And that's what I think we all enjoy as parents, seeing our kids blossom by using the brick. So
Good, good. Ooh, you got anything?
Well, I heard something about a foundation.
ah yeah, we you know it's been really a lot of work here recently, but anything worth doing is going to be a difficult trek. And I haven't been doing this alone. I've had the support of everybody behind us, to include the two of you guys, and getting feedback from everyone within the community, and having people back us on what we're trying to do. uh, like we had said, it all kind of started because Fairy Bricks over in the UK had Lego sets stolen. And when we looked into what they did for the brick walk, I didn't go into the brick walk going, hey, this is a world record attempt. I went in saying, this is to raise funds for this charity, and here's what they do and why it matters. And as I went through that research process, I found out that Lego isn't just a toy, and especially in these hospital environments. There's a thing called creative play. You can look it up. Colleges and universities have all done large studies about creative play, and Lego fits so well in that. Creative play essentially is a doctor or a nurse or a facilitator playing with the child to get information from them, to gather information, to make them feel more at home, to have them feel like they have control. So instead of saying, you know, where does it hurt? You essentially are playing with a doll, and you would say, you know, this doll's hurt. Where does this doll hurt? And through the creative play process, it opens those children up to feeling more comfortable in these situations. And it is actually proven to speed up recovery times. And again, just to make that experience that can be so tough for even an adult, but imagine a child going through this, you know, it takes that experience and makes it palatable. It makes it something that they can, you know, enjoy is not the right word, but it makes it more enjoyable, as enjoyable as it can be. And when I really looked into it, I was like, man, this is amazing. Like and doing the research, there is nobody in the United States that's doing this right now. And we reached out to CHKD and we said, hey, this is what we want to do. And they said, look, once you obtain 501c status, we're all for it. I am the Children's Hospital of King's Daughters. They are a children's hospital all across the United States that deals just with children. And they do everything from my daughter actually went there. She had to have some dental surgery done. They from single stay visits to children that are in hospitals for an extended period of time to very, very serious things. And when we reached out to them, they were like, yes, you know, we're all for this. Please let us know when you get the 501c status, which is what we're in the process of trying to obtain. And then I'm also a Freemason, and the Freemasons have the Shriners Hospital. So we'll eventually be working with them as well. And I just got a point of contact with the Ronald McDonald House here in Virginia, and they're all for it. So we're going to be branching out. And
when you get your POC with Ronald McDonald House, let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. So we, you know, I really do believe in things happening for a reason. And every time something weird happens, it ends up leading me down a path that brings me to things like that, like to finding a point. I wasn't even looking for somebody who could help me with the Ronald McDonald House, and it just kind of fell into our lap. And it's really what makes me feel like this is meant to be. You know, the fact that Philly Brickfest and everything lined up just reinforced the fact that, you know, this is a mission. You know, I really feel like this is what I was put on this earth to do. You know, so it is something that I take really seriously and really to heart. We didn't realize that the 501c process was so extensive and expensive to get it done right. If you don't mind me sharing a conversation that you and I had at Philly, you know, we had talked, Big B and I had talked late one night about, you know, I was actually planning on setting this up all by myself. I wasn't going to go to an attorney. I wasn't going to go to a lawyer. And in fact, these are the kind of things that I like to do. I like setting up businesses. I've been a business owner for quite some time. And if you don't do these things right and you don't cross these T's, very, very bad things can happen. And the government will take control over things. So having these things done properly in a very legal manner, in a very structured manner, has been advice that I've gotten across the board from people who run nonprofits.
Yeah, you gotta make the legal speak folks
do their thing, man. Yeah. So we're in the process right now of raising funds. You know, I don't have the money out of pocket to start this on my own, unfortunately. And luckily, a lot of people have gotten behind this, you know, to include the two of you guys. And, you know, the people over at Brickfest have been very encouraging. The people at Booster Bricks, everybody within the AFOL community, everybody has just been so supportive and saying, look, you can do this, and you should do this. And it's been very neat. So right now, we're able to have a family member who helped us out to get a ton of older Lego sets. We're in the process of getting all those squared away to sell off to raise funds for the charity. We just started a GoFundMe page to help us raise those funds as well. And our goal, legal fees are only $1,800. I think after taxes, it's like $2,300 after everything's said and done. But we're trying to reach our goal of about $6,000 before November. And $6,000 will get us the 501c. And once we have the 501c, we should be able to get at least right around 300 Lego sets for our first drop off, our first official donation. And my goal is to have this all set up by early November, so our first drop off can be right before Christmas time. I think that's a very powerful time of year in general, and I hope that we can meet the goal that we've set. So, and with everybody's help, and I don't think that'll be an issue. So,
I look forward to all of this being completed by next year's Philly.
Yeah, absolutely. That is another big goal of mine, is to have this all set up before Philly Brickfest next year. I've already talked to my father, who I think everybody who was at Philly will never forget my father ever in their life. And he will be there again. I'm hoping this will be a reoccurring thing for he and I, our pilgrimage every year to Philadelphia. So
this year's Bring Your Own Absinthe.
Yeah. I'm not even going to comment on that, but we'll be bringing our own for sure.
Yeah, but I will be.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was after the Lego walk, and it was your birthday, so.
I did not feel pain at all that night. So I think we can leave it at that.
Oh, that was the point of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're with Philly, get this all set up next year, we'll figure out some more to do and further this. I've already got a couple ideas of what I can do to try to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I just want to remind you. I mean, I did have a very lengthy conversation, like with Chad, about this as well, and I mean, he agreed with me completely. He's like, it's a bitch to set up a 501c. As a business owner, you do not have time to do it and really run a business. It is so much simpler to have someone just come in, have a business already set up for you that sort of does what you're looking for the give part, and just give.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really the truth of it all is that nobody thinks about how much goes into helping people. It's really insane. I think Chad had said at Philly Brickfest, I don't think I'm sharing anything that he wouldn't be happy with sharing. They already work with an amazing nonprofit, and I think that they are like a sole reason for a school being built in Africa.
He's there right now.
Yeah. And his Brickfest and all the cons that they do have already done so many great things in that manner. They really are such an amazing group of people for the things that they've done in general. So, and I do hope at some point to be able to work with him and his team. And I don't want to jinx anything or put words in anybody's mouth, but that is a goal of mine is to be able to work with amazing people, and they are amazing people. So
I was thinking more I'd pull a classic plastic and introduce you to Beyond the Brick.
Yeah,
Well, no, I mean a bunch of their content from Philly actually came from Classic Plastic. Just be like, you need to talk to this guy. You need to talk to this guy, because they may not have their display that they had out at Philly or something about would not have attracted them right off the get-go as they're walking past trying to find content for their channel. There was a few people that had interviews with them that Todd basically just like put on the stage and was just like A-B chat.
Yeah, and I love what Beyond the Brick does, and it was the first time that I ever got to meet them, and they really have kind of stepped up the caliber of what they do here recently. I think,
I didn't even know that there was a Japan Brick Fest.
I didn't either, and I missed that one, man. I got to go watch that. But like I said, they've stepped their game up so high, and they are the ones that actually helped get the word out about the world record. I mean, their video is the video about the world record, and they did such an amazing job with it. And I did get a chance to talk with them, and was lucky enough to get a brick brick from them as well. And they're a bunch of great people. And like I said, it is amazing the caliber of people that are in the AFOL community. And my father said the same thing. He said, first, I got to throw this out there. He was like, the Brainy Brick Nation, to all of you guys out there who are members of the Brainy Brick Nation or consider yourself members of the Brainy Brick Nation, you guys all rock so hard. I had so many people.
Like a hat? You have like a Lego hat in the shape of a brain that we're supposed to be wearing?
Oh man, that is so brilliant. I need to come up with that. I need to actually make that.
Trademark.
Yeah, there were so many of you guys that showed up to Philly to come out and meet me, and you guys all brought so many cool things, not just to show me, but to give, for us to do giveaways with. For those of you who have not seen our Facebook page, and we're slowly migrating onto YouTube and also onto Twitch, that we do a lot of giveaways, and it's not because I want viewers. It's because I get a lot of things. A lot of people send stuff to me, and I get a lot of amazing opportunities that most people don't get. And I feel like I just need to share the love, So Cherie, one of my main followers, one of the ladies who is messaging me every single day, I got like 14 people that just hit me up every day. Hey, did you see this? Hey, this is coming. She sends me a box every single month of at least 5 or 6 Lego sets to give away. And we do, we do giveaways all the time. And it's because the only reason I can do that is because the community provides that stuff for us to do. And at Philly, my dad was like, I got off topic there for a little bit. He was like, he grabbed me by the neck the night of the brick walk, and he told me how proud he was. And he's like, these people you're hanging out with are awesome. He's like, everybody cares about everybody, and everybody's just having a good time. And he said, and all these people are coming to see you. He was like shocked, it really was one of those moments that I'll never forget, and moments like that are created because of all of you guys. It's not, and by byproduct, it is because of Lego, but the real reason that I do this is for Cutie Bricks and for all of you. The love that is given to Cutie Bricks and is received by you is the greatest reward of all. It costs my family quite a bit of money every month to put this on. We don't make money. In fact, every dollar that we do make right now is going into the foundation. So, this is a labor of love. I'm not doing this to turn a profit or to take advantage of people. I'm doing this because because I love it, and I hope one day that I can get to a point with the foundation and with Brainy Bricks Nation to be able to turn a profit, and not so much with the foundation, but with Brainy Bricks Nation to be able to support my family, so I can do this day in and day out. I mean, Big B,
Twitch. I'm telling you, Twitch.
yeah,
Twitch.
we're getting there. We're getting there. I know. We had a long conversation a couple nights ago
So
about
the
this.
reason why I'm telling him Twitch, and like I'm an Amazon, or I'm over here, but Twitch,
Yeah,
because of the tie-in with Amazon, because Amazon owns Twitch, and everybody who's an Amazon Prime member, which you for some reason hate, and I called you an idiot this past weekend because I didn't know that anybody actually wasn't a non-Prime member, but I apologize for everybody that I called an idiot. You get $4.99 a month that can go to any Twitcher. And if you've got like a nation behind you, and you guys all have your brain-shaped hats that you wear, you could be given $5 or penny shy.
yeah.
You get $3 of that.
And that's a very good point, and it's something that I've
nobody
contemplated a lot.
who's old is using that. Everybody who's using that is like 18 to 30 something.
Yeah, and it's an avenue that we're looking into to kind of bring monetization to us because I do want to do this full time. I love my day job. I love working. I work for Canon. They are the most amazing company in the world to work for. They really do care about their employees. But if
they must listen to your videos too.
Yeah, Doris, if you're watching, I mean every word. I promise. No. But if the only thing that would take me away from that is Lego, and I have expressed that many times at work that, hey, my goal in life is to get Lego to be able to be some sort of channel for me to support my family on a regular basis. And it wasn't that way, Big B, until you quit your job and you did what you love. Literally, I always thought that this could be something that sustains itself. I never thought that it was something that could sustain our life. And when I saw you do it, I was like, if this schmuck can do it, I can do it. No.
I certainly hope that I'm not going to be blamed for cutie bricks living out a refrigerator box next.
I certainly hope so too. But no.
Everybody has a want. I think not everybody, because some people like to just be led. But I think a lot of people want to do their own thing and actually want to step out and do it. And I'm really glad that I'm a little nervous that I'm an inspiration, but
and I also have to give credit to Fu, because at Philly, I had a long conversation about selling brick with Fu as well, and Fu gave me the best advice ever. My dad was sitting right next to him when he said it, and my dad echoed this on the night before he flew out. Fu, you had said anyone can find a good deal on Lego.
Yeah.
It's the people who can sell that Lego that can make it can turn this into a career. And I am the guy. If you see over here, I have hundreds of sets, not massive sets, but hundreds of sets. And I'm always going, oh man, if I get this and I can maybe sell it and I'll make $20 on this one. Yeah. And they're all sitting on the shelf still, and, but I feel everything happens for a reason. And right now is that reason. I need those sets. I need that $20 to help get the foundation up and off the ground. And it's advice from people like Big B and Fu and Clutch and everyone that I met at Philly, that all the Holland and Ballin crew. I mean, everybody had just some amazing feedback and great advice, and just it wasn't just a fun time. It was a learning experience. Philly was. And also, the seller stream and the community streams and the things that everybody's doing on YouTube. You know, no matter which channel you're watching or who you're looking at, there are small little tidbits that you can pick up from everyone throughout these streams and things. And it is, it's an education within itself.
Just got your ears open.
Yeah, I really think somebody needs to start a brick university. Patent pending. I'm trademarking that right there. But I legit, like, I really think that somebody needs to come together within the community and get that going, because if we can compile the passion from everybody and the knowledge from everybody into a single source, everyone who watches these shows and channels would be unstoppable. And that's my thing. I just want to share the love, man. There's no reason not to with everyone who comes around. I'm not the guy who's going to hide my secret to success, my secret sauce. I'm the guy that puts the recipe on the can. So
I don't hide that much.
I mean, obviously there's that one little tidbit that's, everybody's got their honey hole,
Buy low, sell high.
So, but, like I said,
quality.
Yeah. We're at a point right now where we need to make a profit to get funds into the foundation, and it is something that we're taking very seriously. My wife, even tonight, my wife said, do you really need to stream tonight, baby? Because you have sets to catalog. And, my wife's an accountant. That's what she does. And she is, she's very serious when it comes to business. And she has made it abundantly clear that when we start this, there's no going back. Once you start something, especially when you start a business, there's no going back. But when you start a nonprofit, you're not just, turning a profit, you're affecting people's lives.
There's a dependency upon that is, where those at risk are at risk if you fail to do your job.
Exactly. So taking things serious has really, over just the past couple months, has really kind of set in, and has changed the way I do different things. And so, but
well, you should just let her know. With great power comes great responsibility. And
yeah.
What dirty look she gives you, and just carry on.
Yeah. I think in any relationship, I unfortunately don't have a wife who loves Lego. I have a wife who accepts Lego, but at the same time, I have a wife who's got a good head on her shoulders and who understands that I love Lego and it is difficult for me to let go of Lego. So she's that grounding voice day in and day out.
I have one of those. I have one of those as well.
Yeah.
I completely get it, and get the reasons why my wife is the same way.
Yeah, and I wish I had Foo's head on my shoulders, because Foo, man, you knock this out, like, and I think you get the concept more than anybody. When I think a lot of people don't realize how much you actually push and what you do. I certainly didn't until we had, that one-on-one conversation at Philly, so, and
Philly, because you get to meet everybody and talk to them for more than 5 minutes and not in the public eye.
Yeah. As great as these conversations are, the conversations that are off camera, are really amazing as well. So, but, and, I really do hope to leave this all to teach cutie bricks, and this was something Chad said to me. He said, I met his daughter. His daughter is one of the most amazing people I've ever met. Chad's daughter from Philly Brickfest. If you go to Philly Brickfest, you'll see this young girl who holds herself with such professionalism that you wouldn't think she is, young in the way she acts. And he had said, one of the reasons we do the charity, and one of the reasons we have started this is to show our kids, the right way to live life, the right way to treat people, the right way to do things. And that is one of my sub goals, is to lead something for Cutie Bricks that she's proud of, and to, have that monetary success of value, of values. I want to leave good values on her. And one of the most amazing things happened just the other night. She said, "Daddy, when you take these Legos to the sick kids, can I please go?" It wasn't a conversation that we were having at the moment. I was sorting some Lego. She came up and asked that on her own. And that is a parenting win in my book, times 10. That drove it home on just why, another reason, another good thing that my family's receiving from this.
And another reason why there's no going back.
Yeah, I can't. If I fail here, what is she going to think of me, and what is she going to do?
If you fail, it's okay. It's okay to have failure.
Yeah, very good point.
If you quit,
right,
then that's a whole nother lesson that you never want to teach.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I do want to stress to everybody who's watching is, Big B, you had a very good point there. Failure is okay.
Failure's 100% successful.
Yeah,
you're supposed to fail 99% of the time until you get that 1% that shines.
Yep. And I at a very young age was a contract holder with the government, and I had success very early on, and I didn't have failure in what I did, and it made me very bullheaded for quite some time, until I had that first failure within my business life. And it knocked me down, but it built me up so much. And with my own daughter, when she can't do something, we don't ask her what she did wrong. We ask her, well, what have you learned from this? Failure is the greatest teacher of all. And
the only
I wouldn't say the only, but I think the most successful for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. When something doesn't work, you got to find out how to make it work. And it is another reason that I want this to work. I'm sure we're going to fail at a couple different things the first few times we do it with the nonprofit. I've never set up an event where I need to give children hundreds of Lego sets at a time. I'm sure my first few events, there's going to be failures within every single one of those, but we're going to learn from them. And we're going to make the foundation stronger and better every single time something like that happens. And I'm sure y'all's Bricklink stores and Amazon stores, I'm sure that wall of Lego behind you didn't just appear overnight. That is an evolution behind you of failures sitting behind you, Big B.
Oh, there's hundreds of lots in there that I still have yet to sell the first piece out of, that I've taken a chance on.
Yeah.
And when they hit, they hit.
Yeah. So, it's one of those things that, you really have to kind of look for those as learning opportunities. It's, the old adage, it's not how you fall off the horse, it's what you do to get back on, so. But I feel like I've gotten in preachy mode. I apologize to everybody.
No. They're good. It's the whole thing. They're life lessons, and you want to live your life with experiences.
Yeah. Who wants to die going, man, I played it safe my whole life, you know, and that's where I think not playing it safe and taking risks and just going out and doing things and and also listening from others, you know. One of the big things that I failed at very early on was taking the advice of people who had been there before. I used to own a portrait studio chain on the Marine Corps bases. I had a mentor growing up from age 14 to 23, and he passed away when I was 23. From a very early age, he took me under his wing. And when I got my first portrait studio chain, he said, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And I said, I'm going to change the way things are done. I'm not doing that, you know. And what ended up happening 6 years later, everything that he said, we evolved into having that. And had I listened to him from the beginning, I would have made so much more money in my businesses, and I would have been so much more successful and quicker. And you know, listening to the feedback from Fu and from you and from everyone else who comes up on the seller stream and within all the streams, and like actually taking to heart what they're saying, you know, you guys don't have to put these streams on. You know, you don't have to give out this advice. You're giving it out because you feel like it's sound advice. You've been through these situations before. And Twitch, for example, you know, if I was bullheaded and I stuck to my guns, I would not be going to Twitch. But I know where you're coming from. You have more knowledge than me in it, and I'm taking your advice. I'm
looking at who's behind it, and for someone like Bezos to just be like, oh yeah, that's definitely what I want to be working with, and I'm going to put my name behind it. That says a lot.
Yeah, and you know, you got to listen. You have to listen to people who've paved the path already. There's no sense walking down a path without listening to the person who's already been down it. So,
yeah, get the foundation set up, get it rolling, then get yourself over on Twitch, set up a Patreon account, because it'll be thriving by the time the foundation is set up. My advice is continue to put that foundation first and foremost, like you have been, and basically all your dreams are going to come true, Johnny.
You know, I actually, to that point, I do want to apologize to all the Brainy Brick Nation members who
didn't know your name was John.
No, you know, that going sidetracked. The article that I shared on my Facebook page, they used my real name and they used my daughter's real name, and one of my followers said, you know, I never thought of the fact that you and Cutie Bricks have real names. And I was like, yeah, you know, we put our pants on one leg at a time and all that good stuff. But
jump into them off the bed with a contraption.
Yeah, but you know, we have been talking a lot more about the foundation on our page. It comes up in every one of our live streams, and I know some people, it does have to get old after a while, especially to the core people who show up every single stream and stuff. But the reason I do it is because there aren't people who show up to every stream. There are people who are new to the channel, and it is one of those things where we just we need the support from everybody. I'm not even saying that I want the support as much as I do want it. I need it. I'm not going to make it. This is not going to work on my own. And getting support from everybody is key. So it really is. So
I'm behind
it. From the beginning, actually, you and Fu, from day one that I met Fu, and you know, I've had nothing but praise from the whole community. I have yet to come across somebody who has said, what are you doing? Like, this is dumb. Like, stop. You know, everybody's been supportive, and you know, I love you guys.
I might not have said it to your face, but there's been some people. Like,
you know, I have had people say,
who is this guy? And why is he on Facebook?
I had a lot of people, a lot of haters come through with the world record, and they showed their faces. And the crazy thing is they showed their faces and they went right back into the shadows. Everybody who has shined through and who has stayed there has had nothing but positive things to say. And you know, my father always said, if you want to be a 10, you surround yourself with 10s. And every one of my followers, everybody who I stream with, every invitation I accept, these people are 10s. And I want to be just like you guys. And, you know, that's what I attain to do for that. So.
Well, thank you. And speaking of 10s, you get 10% off your order with hashtag SellerStream at Brickout.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Who's ready to end the story?
I had to
Love it.
Look at him, look at him. He's like, it's been an hour. It's been more than an hour.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You know, Brick Owl is one of those things I have yet to explore, believe it or not. I hate to say. And I need to look into it more. For those of you, if you don't mind me plugging real quick, oh, of course I don't have it here. Oh, here it is right here. Yeah.
Send you an email. All props should be accessible within the.
This right here, the pieces that we got from this all came from Bricklink orders. These are Lego sets that we essentially designed. This is a lanyard, holds regular ID cards, your VIP card, and all of this stuff came from people like Boo and Big B, and you know, we design these things. So Brick Owl is definitely one of those things that I need to look more into, just for pricing and all that, because doing things like this are how we raise funds for the foundation. You know, 100% of profits for any brick badge that we sell goes right back into the foundation. And it's, you know, there are many other people who are doing a lot cooler and bigger builds with the stuff they get from Bricklink, and I don't know how they do it.
I didn't even know that your own personal brick bag thing was a thing.
Yeah, man. This is something that we designed I designed all on my own. And it is a set that you can buy, $25. You get the Play Well lanyard. It says Play Well on a brick. And, you know, this is one of the products that we sell. I'm working on right now, and I would have it here, but Cutie Bricks uses it for popcorn. We have designed a catapult, Lego catapult, that actually I placed a decent sized order. I wouldn't say a large order from Big B to grab some brown and gray pieces.
Anything's appreciated.
Yeah. And, you know, we're trying to make it fun, you know, as much as I would love for everybody just to reach in their pocket and drop money on the foundation. I know that if you're like me, you don't have money just to give. You know, you don't have deep pockets. So how can we do that? We make fun things that make it worth giving. You know, while you know you can probably build one of these for $6, $7 worth of Lego. You know, the additional funds go for the lanyard, and everything else comes right back to the charity. So, and all the Lego sets and our. Oh, I didn't know it was closed, man. Hashtag fail. I thought it was closed. Our custom printed Play Well bricks, our custom printed Brainy bricks that we got from Brick Sanity. You know, all of these little things that we have, we come up with these things to make it worth donating and to make it, you know, fun. You know, I want you guys to feel like you're a part of it, and I don't want you to feel like I'm just hand out. You know, please give, please give, please give. Hey, you know, if you want to give, you know, grab something that you can only get from us. You know, so. And I'm sure you guys have the same philosophy in your stores. You know, I'm sure you guys find those pieces that people can't find anywhere else, or, you know, want and you know are going to need. I think I heard one of y'all seller streams, both you and Fu were talking about white plates, you know, having these things ready for the holidays when you know people are going to need them, you know. And
White sells well in the winter.
yeah. And, you know, just having things that people need or want. And it makes it more enjoyable for people to be a part of everything. So, yeah.
Glad we could help you while feeding our families.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So hopefully we'll be feeding our family from all this one day.
One day. It took us 3-4 years before we were ready to do a launch.
How long have you been in it, Fu?
I've been in this 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So both of you guys, did you guys get started together or at the same time?
No, not on purpose.
Time span.
Yeah. Very cool. So, if you look at it that way, we're in our infancy, you know, as far as the foundation goes. So we've been doing Brainy bricks for about 3 years, but just seriously within the last year or so. So, and I actually have a couple questions for you guys. Was that how you guys started? Was it just a dabble? Was it, hey, you know, this looks like fun? Or was it just you jumped in and you had crates of Lego showing up? Wait a second. I saw on Big B's Instagram. I got to give you flack for this, man. You stumbled across a box of like hundreds of
1,200
dimension sets. How do you just forget that you have 12? I can't forget that I've got
I didn't realize that I had 1,200 left. Okay, so I purchased 1,500 of them as giveaways in my store. So I've got the Bricks Out game for social media subscribers. If you, in the bingo game, every letter originally, or it's intended that every letter has a prize. If you get an N, then you get it's a Ninjago Nia set.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. B is a 10% discount in my store. O is a 10% discount over at Brickmodel Railroaders on a flash discount from them. Got 2 letters available.
Yeah, I think my bingo card fell on the ground earlier today. I got my tickets though, and I also have got to catch up on my bingo cards. So, but yeah. So I'm sure you guys, not to get off topic, you guys started out small, you know, as just dabbling then.
Everybody starts with 1 brick.
Yep.
Yeah. I started with 3 sets, and I was just like, I didn't anticipate it being a long-term game, brick slinging, and it is. I learned very quickly that it's not a short-term game. It's a sit and wait if you're doing it properly. So I commend both of you guys for having the patience to do it.
There's a million different ways to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, one day I'll figure it out. So.
I think I like the way you're doing it. Not to discourage you, not to say that people shouldn't sell. I like the way you're doing it. It takes there's even fewer people that are willing to do the charitable side. So it's always been an aim for me to be able to pull that off on a number of different levels. I've got my things going on, but not to the level you guys do. I wish that I had the time to do that. I'm going to have to invest in 501c as well because, as you know, with government work, it's required to even begin anything.
Yeah. And, you know, nobody, like I said, nobody realizes how much goes into starting a nonprofit. I didn't realize it. I thought it's a nonprofit. You know, I'll pay $20 and start it up. No, not at all. It's a lot of red tape. And the way there's a local nonprofit here that actually helps people nationwide, and I'm very lucky to have them right down the street.
A nonprofit that helps people start nonprofits.
That's exactly it. That's exactly what they do. They help nonprofits find funding and get off the ground. And I said, why is it so difficult? And she said, well, if it wasn't difficult and it wasn't expensive, every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there would start a nonprofit, and it wouldn't be legit, and people would take advantage of it. This weeds out the people that just have an idea, or people that want to take advantage of a situation, because believe it or not, there are a lot of nonprofits out there, unfortunately, that either promise they're going to do something and they don't follow through, or they just have ill intentions to begin with. And it would be even more rampant than if it wasn't difficult. And that's exactly how she explained it to me. And it made sense. I was like, I never would have thought of that. In my mind, my brain just doesn't go there, like, oh, let's start a nonprofit so we can, evade taxes. Like, no, I don't know business enough to do something like that, but yeah, it's insane, the amount of stuff. And people don't realize as well, you can't just start a nonprofit. You have to have a board. I have to bring people on. I have to have quarterly meetings. I have to have those meetings like set up properly, and everything has to be documented. I can't spend $1 without the board's approval.
Nope. It's all got to be proper.
Yeah. When I get this initial 6,000, I cannot purchase my first Lego set until the majority of my board says, yeah, that's a good idea. We sign off on that. And it's even though I would be the head of the nonprofit, or I would take lead on the nonprofit to begin with, at least, I don't make a single decision. It's all a group of people, and that's where the hard part comes in. Is because these people, a lot of times, these people don't work for free, even though it's a nonprofit. They still, if you're hiring the right people, their time is valuable, and they do get something out of helping out the nonprofit. And so, $6,000 sounds like a lot of money, but after you put in the work, it may only be 4,000 or 5,000. So and some really good people have brought up points where they're like, well, how are you going to get the Lego sets to the kids? Are you going to have, 300 Lego sets just doesn't fit in a car. Are you going to rent a truck? Are you going to have a van? Are you going to have a service who delivers it for you?
You could fit 300 Lego sets in a car. It's just that they're not going to be in presentable condition to give to somebody.
To kids. Yeah, exactly. And that was one of the things that happened to Fairy Bricks. They had a really nice van with their stuff plastered all over it. So anybody who walked by would know that there's Lego inside, and they ripped the door right off the van. I hope one day that we can be at the point where we have Brainy Bricks vans, Brainy Brick Foundation vans all over the United States. And I've actually talked with some really amazing companies out there that already have networks, and they're like, once you get this set up, let us know. We can hook you into our network. That's the other thing with a nonprofit, is a lot of it is networking. A lot of it is just figuring out what, who already has this set up, and how can you scratch their back so that they can scratch yours, kind of thing. Everybody, it needs to be like the AFOL community, even though I don't think it is as opening as it was at Philly. It needs to be that way. So, but
well, I look forward to seeing your little brain mobiles riding down the road, delivering Lego to kids in need.
Brain mobile, I like it. We'll have little bobble brains on the top, so when you hit the brakes, the brain's like, what?
There's a model of Chevy that you could use that almost has a brainish shape. Too difficult.
Like the baseball hat mobiles at like the baseball games, you know. So.
All right. So as Fu was saying, stop by Brick Owl. We got the coupon, 10% off. Hashtag Seller Stream. We wish we could use it over on Bricklink. Eventually, we'll be able to use it over on Bricklink. At some point, they're going to pick up the hint that we're talking about this every show. That we really want it. That a lot of people really want this because we'd like to further discounts that people get. I'd like to thank Brainy for coming on and talking to us for a short time here. Good information, good to know stuff. I certainly hope that you're going to be a ginormous success in the future.
Thank you.
I'd love to see this go through. I'd love to be able to help in any way possible. You and I do have a little thing separate planned as well that we're going to try to do some assists with, and you guys will hear more about that on my channel later. Mr. Fu?
Yep. Well, thanks for joining us, Brainy, first and foremost. Good to see you
Absolutely.
again.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Looking forward to seeing you in Philly next year because I'll definitely be there.
Yeah, man. Me too.
You always say you go to your first Philly, not your last one. That's it. Once you go, you go. Just to say it one more time, hashtag Seller Stream, Bricklink, please put in coupon codes for the love of God. And I hope everyone has a great week. We'll see you next time.
Wait, if you don't mind, can I plug one more time?
Yeah, plug. I got a question for the audience too after this. So
Okay. BrainyBricksNation.com. You can head over there. You can grab all kinds of things that I talked about tonight. We will have Lego sets up there as well, and all the profits go into the foundation. There you can also donate directly to us, and we'll have a link going directly to our GoFundMe page where you can donate there as well. Anything that you guys donate, whether it's a penny, well, I don't think you can donate a penny, but you get what I'm trying to say. Every dollar helps, and we're going to put it to good use. You have my word on it. So thank you.
Appreciate. I just had a brief thing of like, hey, we're thinking about changing it to another day of the week. And Fu and I have considered possibly Thursday. So how do you guys feel about seeing us, watching us live Thursdays at 9 p.m.? That's the time that we're thinking about, just because Sunday night is the busiest night of the week for most Lego slingers, brick slingers. So just a thought. Let us know. Let us
comment down below.
Yeah, comment down below. Like that smash button, all that stuff. Let us know how you like these interview series type shows, or if you just want us to go forth and try to guide you through the world of Lego selling. Let us know about that too. Don't be shy. And if you had a success or a flounder, let us know about it as well. If you're somebody that does this and you want to be on the show, let us know. Communicate, comment, blah blah yada, thumbs up, etc.